a warm welcome to Diski Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I'm joined by a very, very special man. He is a legend of the beautiful game and a great footballer as well. He goes by the name of Bernard Parker, also known as Dihond. Enjoy game. Dihond, how's it?
I'm good, thank you. Good to having me.
Yeah.
And greetings to the viewers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having this conversation, and I think it's very important that we give you your flowers, and this is why this platform is so important, is to honor people such as yourself, and I think you've had a great career, 16 years and counting, still involved at the highest level, and you've inspired so many kids, you've scored so many goals, you've created so many goals, you've played over 500 professional matches. So I think your story is a beautiful story and a story that needs to be shared the right way to inspire more people. So personally, I'd just like to give you your flowers and tell you how great you are and how big of a legend and how important you are to South African football. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's been a wonderful journey, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of highs, I would say, than lows, but I'm enjoying the journey, still in the journey, and what I'm doing is actually what I get from people is actually good. So it's a good feeling that to hear that I'm doing good, what I am doing.
Yeah.
So I definitely deserve the name.
Yeah.
Enjoy your game.
So earlier on, I mentioned that you've scored a lot of goals, you've created a lot of goals. So the Bernard Parker of years ago, as a Bernard Parker was involved in this area, scoring goals, also involved in this area, just a bit deeper, creating goals just behind a striker. But the Bernard Parker we see this season is one that is playing a lot deeper within the heart of midfield. What would you make of your performances this season, playing in a deeper role and having to adapt to a deeper role?
Yes. Let me explain firstly, because people think that Bernard Parker has been a striker.
Yeah.
And this is mostly the formation. The general normal 4-2-3-1 that we play.
Yeah.
As South Africans.
Yeah.
And this is where Bernard Parker has played most of his career.
Yeah.
As just behind the striker.
Yeah.
At Bafana Bafana, I'll play behind Akatlego Mpela, Penny McCarthy, a lot of other guys that I played with.
Yeah.
And I'll be the one that's roaming around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be the one who will be connecting play with the midfield. I'm attached to the midfield and I'm attached to the attackers.
Yeah.
So I'll be the one, making things happen.
Yeah.
Creating opportunities.
Yeah.
And the brave person I am, I will always make sure that I get into the box. Smartly get into the box, being directed by the main striker, the number 9. If the number 9 moves away, I'll attack that space.
Yeah.
If the number 9 takes them across to the first pole, I'll attack that space.
Yeah.
And that has always been me. Sometimes I would also play on the left or on the right of the wing.
Yeah.
But this is where I operated a lot. Even at Chiefs, I play behind the Knowledge Musona, Kingston and Kata, Tlegonolo Majoro, and I become a top goal scorer.
Yeah.
By just being redirected by the number 9. So I found a way how to attack space.
Yeah.
And it's worked well for me my whole career.
Yeah.
And at Bafana Bafana I became the 3rd highest goal scorer because of my intelligence in getting into those positions.
Yeah.
And now at Kaizer Chiefs, I've become the all-time goal scorer in the PSL era.
Yeah.
But also doing the same thing what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So that's the Horns role.
The Horns role, no?
And maybe because now that later now in my career, the pace is no more how it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm playing as a double six currently. At Chiefs, I also used to play a double six as well at Kaizer Chiefs in the midfield, and then sometimes I will push back into my position. But then I became so familiar with this role, where because of my leadership skills and my communication skills, and also how I can manage the game. You know, I've actually quite enjoyed this role now. In TS Galaxy, right now at the moment, we're on a +3 goal difference. And we've built a solid defensive block in terms of the four of us here, the two central the defenders and the two central midfielders. And it has helped us a lot. It has helped us a lot. We kept a lot of clean sheets. And me playing in this role, you know, I think I am giving more in terms of helping, a lot in terms of inspiring, in terms of my coaching knowledge, in terms of my experience. Just in general, in terms of managing situations within the game by helping the players. It has helped the team a lot. So and the coach did manage that to me. So so I'm in this role now. Sometimes I'll play left back. Sometimes I was at right back. So the only position I haven't played in my career is centre back and goalkeeping. So this is the overall Bernard Parker. Complete overall footballer, I would say.
So I want us now to go back in time and take a trip down memory lane. You know, so growing up in Rege Park and deciding that you wanted to focus on football, because what a lot of people don't know is how athletic you were growing up and how you're also good at other sports as well. But you chose football. Why did you choose football?
I was more of a person who was very passionate with athletics. Athletics was very much close to me. I was the star. I was the star in primary school. I do everything. I do 100 meters, long distance, long jump. I would do everything, and I was the primary school hero when it comes to athletics. And then I was also the kid that takes on every sport. You know, every term it's got their sport. In the beginning of the year it's athletics, then the next term would be cricket. The following term would be football, and then the other term would be basketball or swimming. And as I took on soccer, there's this teacher, Mr. Denzel Bezaidenhout, who actually identified that I've got a good talent when it comes to football. And then he said to me, he will enroll me at a club, because I was good friends with his son. He'll enroll me at a club, which was Boksburg FC. It was just outside Rege Park. And I played at Boksburg FC and I actually excelled. I did good. And then he said to me, there's trials coming up for School of Excellence. I'll take you for trials, and then we'll see how it goes. So I said, okay. I spoke to my parents, and then he took me for trials at the school. And I made it. I made it, yes. And ever since then, I didn't look back ever since then. But when I was also in primary school, I was a lot frequently at the pool, at the local municipal pool. I would even sit there, and when people come to the pool, I'll sit outside the gate, and people come to the pool. I will even beg them for a 2 rand. That time was 2 rand entrance.
Yeah.
I'll even beg them for 2 rand to let me in.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there the whole day. If I don't get anybody to help me get in, you know, I would try and find a hole.
So you've been finding holes since. That's why you can play in the hole.
I'll find a hole.
Yeah.
Well, I'll jump the fence at the back.
Yeah.
Or I'll find a way how to get in.
Yeah.
And I stayed the whole day at the pool.
Yeah.
And swimming helped me a lot.
Yeah.
As well with regard to coordination, you know, as a young player playing in the streets, doing stuff, you don't realize that when you do stuff on a day-to-day basis, you don't realize unaware you're improving.
Yeah.
You're improving in a certain way.
Yeah.
And they took me in at the swimming club.
Yeah.
It was this boy, it was every day.
Yeah.
So he took me in at the swimming club. Then I joined the swimming club, and then now I got free entrance every day. Yes, and I did good. Yeah. I got to make it into the Eastern Gauteng swimming colors. Yeah. For breaststroke. Yeah. Breaststroke was my specialty, and when we came to the nationals, unfortunately I didn't make it through to the nationals. Yes, so. I was an all-rounder with sports. I was an all-rounder, and then high school. I started with the School of Excellence.
Yeah, yeah. And what was that like, going from being so good at so many different sports and being in a different environment to now getting to School of Excellence where there's so many talented boys around you?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, especially the first year. You know, you get to school. You know, it's boys from different corners of the country, you know, different cultures, different upbringings, different languages. Yeah. You know, and most of us we didn't even speak English proper. You know? And when people speak their language, they speak their language you can't hear, and I would speak my language and they wouldn't hear. So it was very difficult. Yeah. As a grade 8 student, coming into boarding school. I would say it was boarding school because it was just us there. Yeah. And but one thing about football, the beautiful game, it unites us. Yeah. Yeah. One language. Yeah. One language. Yeah. Football, one language. It unites us, and it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot of responsibility. First thing, that your ball, give you a ball. This ball you must take care of, you must look after. You write your name on this ball. You take the ball to training. After training, you must look for your ball. You get your ball. If your ball is dirty, you must wash your ball. Yeah. Take it to your room. And then in the room, I would do taps with the ball. I would do heading. I would do stuff in the room with the ball. So there is also a responsibility that we took on, unaware that it teaches you how to look after things and how to appreciate things. And we had to wash your own uniform, your school uniform, your own kit. We will always do a uniform inspection. Yeah. Your kit must be at a certain cleanliness standard. Yeah. As same as your school uniform, same as your school shoes. Yeah. You know, and also your room as well. Because we also come and inspect your room. Your room also has to be at a certain clean standard as well. So that has taught me a lot. And a lot of players that has also been through the school, a lot. Players that didn't make it into football, today they are top gens in whatever career path they have taken. And they're doing well in their career just because of those human skills that we learn at the school that it was instilled in us, that took us all the way into the society, into the public, into the general world. Yeah. And During those tough times at the school, you know, coming from a very, very poor house, you know, I hadn't had much. I didn't have anything. I didn't have much, and I didn't even have money to go home. And it's free weekends for us to go home, so I didn't even have money to go home. And I would stay at the school. Or play on the grounds. It will feel so quiet. It will feel like it will feel like a December in Joburg. You know? December in Joburg is just quiet. You know? It will feel like that together with the other guys who are far from Gauteng province. Who can't get home. And one thing that they helped me a lot, that I took advantage of, that was a plus, that I couldn't get home on weekends. Actually, I managed to sharpen up my weaker foot. You know, I'll be against the wall. Because during the week you can't make noise with the ball against on weekends. You can make noise because the teachers are not there, nobody's there. Yes, it's just us, and then you can make noise and stuff like that. So now I'll be against the wall with my ball, against the wall with my weaker foot. Go. Touch, receive, pass, receive, pass, receive. Touch, receive, turn, pass, receive, turn. And I actually sharpened up my weaker foot so much that it actually became my accurate foot. More than my left. I am left-footed. But then I actually sharpened my right foot so much that it became more accurate. And in my career, in my days, you can see, I score free kicks with my right foot.
With your right foot,
I score penalties with my right foot so accurately, you know, just because of those lonely weekends I had at the school that actually helped you improve my right foot.
And which were some of the players at the school that stood out for you and inspired you?
A lot of players. A lot of players. When I first stepped into the school, Steven Pienaar stepped out. I didn't even get to
at least talk to him.
At least talk to him or train with him or see him on the field. He stepped out. As well as a few other players as well that stepped out. If I can remember, Sean Potgieter, Sipho Nunens, he was doing his last year, you know, and I was also saying, oh, okay, now they're going to professional teams. It didn't sink in at that time. And then the second year, then Chelsea came, and Chelsea took Boyboy Musia and Masilo Madube to London. And then I started realizing,
this thing is real.
This thing is real. You know? This thing is real. You know? And then clubs would come and play with us. Clubs would love to have friendly games with us. Your Chiefs Academy, your Pirates Academy, and stuff like that. And we'll beat them. We will beat them hands down. We'll beat them. It even got to a stage where when we got to the under-17s, under-17 team were called the Dragons. We were called the Dragons. When we got to under-17s, now we were so mature. We were such a bunch of a strong group. Now we play the senior teams of all of the Premier League teams. So now we have friendly games against Sundowns, Chiefs, Pirates, Swallows, SuperSport. At that time was Tembisa Classic, Benoni United, mostly the Gauteng teams. And we would give them a game, we'd give them a good challenge, as young as we are. And those clubs would also scout. They would scout, and they would come and they would take us, and that internally as players, you know, we get so excited when we hear there's a game coming up. You know, against a professional team, we get so excited because we know this is the exposure we're gonna get. We know one of us must be chosen. One of us must get chosen, and things like that was the nicest thing ever. And it did happen. That players would get chosen and they'll leave us.
Yeah.
And that was the beauty about it. The beauty about it is where now there's something that there's something that we're looking forward to. So we work so hard on ourselves to be ready.
Yeah.
To be ready.
Yeah.
Yes. We work so hard on ourselves to be ready. So whenever we're gonna play against the professional teams, or we get an invitation overseas, we want to be ready.
Yeah.
So that was also a good a psychological factor.
Yeah.
In terms of the performance and enhancement.
Yeah.
And it really enhanced our performance in terms of us looking to be chosen.
Yeah.
You know, and the player that inspired me, that left, it was actually Dane Clayt. I looked so up to him. He was a year ahead of me, and actually looks up to him because every set piece, every corner, every free kick, you know, it's such unbelievable technique. You know, it will give you that tip technique, you know, which is very rare that the footballer would have, a quality that the footballer will have, and yeah, so. And then when we got to play together at national under 23, you know, I felt like no, you know, I felt like yes, you know, I'm getting there,
yeah.
You know, and yeah, so yeah, there's so many other players that came out of the school that inspired me and inspired the rest of the other lads as well. That's just the beauty about it.
Yeah, and you spoke about getting chosen and having the opportunity of playing against professional teams. From there, then, what also a lot of people don't know is that you had a stint with the reserve side at MAMELODI Sundowns. What was that short stint like for you?
Yes, that time, Coach Ted Dimitri was the coach, and Coach Ted loved the school. He loved the school. I think because he also comes from the school. I think he started when he came into the country. I think he had a small stint at the school or something like that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And he took Super Nunens. Took Super Nunens, and from there on, my brother Sundowns would also take players. To come, to invite players to come and train with the youth, and then they'll come back. So a bus will come and pick them up at the school. They'll go for training and then come and drop them off. And I was like, I so want to be in this bus. I really want to be there.
Yeah.
You know. And every time when we get to go play a friendly against them, you know, I would run like a headless chicken. I would just be all over. I would just be all over. You know, just to be noticed.
Yeah. Just
to be noticed, and they loved playing friendly games against us.
Yeah.
So like every so often, maybe once a month or once in 2 months, they would send an invitation for us to come. And when I completed just before I completed my matric, Coach Cabo Zondo said to me, "When you're done with your matric, I would like you to come and train with the reserves, and then sometimes we'll be with the senior team." I said, "Oh wow, I always wanted to, you know."
Yeah, yes. In that bus.
In that bus,
yeah.
I always wanted to. And then I completed my matric.
Yeah.
And then Coach Cabo lived in Vosloorus, who was close to where I live. And then on his way to Kloorkop, he'll pick me up. So I will meet him at a certain corner. He'll pick me up and he'll take me through. And I was in the reserve team, and the senior team just had a lot of stars, you know. Tol Vilagazi came back from Denmark, I think. Gifle Remy was there. Sipho Nonens, okay, he was there. It was Peter Ndlovu came back also here from Europe. So the team was just full of stars, you know, Fabian McCarthy. The team was just full of stars. And they said, not now this year, we will be promoting, we'll only be promoting next year. So okay, I held it out, but then Coach Cabo couldn't bring me to training anymore because now he was now on a different, the training and his schedule was different from our training. So then I had to take the train, I had to take taxis, you know, coming from Boksburg to Klorkop, I had to take like 4 taxis,
Sure.
3 trains if I had to take trains. And it was very, very difficult. And at that time, mom is struggling. Mom didn't have anything. Dad was nowhere to be found. And with the little that she had, you know, sometimes I would miss training because I couldn't get there.
Yeah.
And when we approached and asked Sundowns if they could a little bit incentivize me in terms of transport, they kept promising and promising, and then I just couldn't make it anymore. So I just stayed home. And then when I stayed home, Coach Simon Bata, who was at the school, he's now currently with MAMELODI Sundowns, who was at the school. He was the head coach of Benoni United. And he came and fetched me at home, and he said to me, "Come to Benoni."
Yeah.
And I told him the situation. No, I signed there at Sundowns. I signed like on a piece of paper. You know,
It's somewhere in the offices.
somewhere in the office, on a piece of paper. Yes, and they promised me that they'll pay me 5,000 rand at that time, and it was, and I didn't know what was what, and you know.
Yeah. You just wanted to play.
I just wanted to play.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to have some transport money to go up and down, you know.
Yeah.
Because we had food on the table, it was just transport money up and down, so I just couldn't. And then Coach Sam said to me, "No, don't worry, come to us." So then I went and I joined Benoni United.
And what was that like then?
We had such a strong squad where we gained promotion. No, sorry. When I first joined, I think I joined in halfway through the season, and then we lost promotion in the playoffs against Tembisa Classic. Teko Modise was playing for Tembisa Classic at that time, and then they won promotion to the PSL. In the following season, we kept our squad, and we won promotion the following season. It was actually good. It was a wonderful experience in terms of character. Built my character. As young and talented and vibrant I was, you know, I was a little bit being bent, because I would say being bent is because my good manners and my respect and my discipline I had. Most of the senior players took advantage of it, you know, and they'll say, "Hey, wash my boots," because they know I wouldn't talk back. They'll say, "Hey, wash my boots," or do this. Hey, you just wash my car, or hey, do this. That. Hey, just pick up the kit. Hey, that.
Yeah.
So I would do it, and that's where, from what I've learned from the school, responsibility and stuff like that, I took it there, and from there, it actually build my character. Build my character in terms of do what you gotta do. Yeah. Just do what you gotta do. If you get asked to do something, do what you gotta do. Yeah. Whereas in the field or off the field, the coach will ask me to do something, I'll do what he has asked me to do. I'll do it. Yeah. Off the field, if my players are asking me something, or the management, or the kit manager, whatever, asks me something, I'll do something. I'll just do what I gotta do. Yeah. And there I learned a lot in terms of self-discipline. Yeah. In terms of just your how can I even say this? Your everyday stuff that you have to do, that you just gotta do. That's what I've learned there, and it actually built growth from there. Actually built growth from there. So that sense of responsibility, I implemented into my game, and implementing that into my game with that sense of responsibility, I felt growth in my game. As young as I was playing like a mature player, because I would get to understand my role, I would get to grow in my role, and I would get to excel in my role because I get to do what I gotta do with an understanding, you know. And boom, I got to be chosen for the under-23 national team. Boom, the following year when we won promotion, I got my first Bafana call-up at the age of 20. At the age of 20, when I started showing a whole lot of maturity and get to compete with the big boys, and I just started to being a regular. Started to be a regular, and good times at Benoni Premier United. And then unfortunately, the team got sold. Yes, the team got sold to Swedish owners. They later named it Thanda Zulu.
So what was that like? Because we know of buying and selling statuses in South Africa, but we know it from sort of the perspective of the person who's willing to buy, you know, but we never really get the insight of a player in that situation, because we've often seen that some players will decide to go with the team. Some players will decide that, no, I don't want to play. You know, when they buy it, I don't want to go with the team. Other players don't get picked for that. So what is that experience like? And psychologically, what do you go through as a player when the club is being bought and things are going to change?
Yeah, that's it's that time in our situation. That time, at least we will get told to say, guys, this is what's happening. Thank you for surviving relegation, but now I'm gonna hand the team over to somebody else. Not because that of certain reasons, but because I want the better for you. That was the voice of our chairman, Mr. Dumisani Ndlovu. May he so rest in peace. That was his message to us, because I want the better for you. This is better people, this is better everything. And the good thing about it is they're taking all of you. So that's the good thing about it. Yes, taking all of you. And then from there on, for all of you who's got contracts, for those whose contracts are coming to an end, you'll still have to negotiate with the new owners. But all of you already got contracts, they're taking you with. And so we went with, and we had to relocate to Durban. So when we relocated to Durban, the new owners actually said to us, they knew in the country, they brought on some people, they would advise them, and they also said to us that they believe that we were on low salary packages. They would want to increase our packages as well, you know, by a certain percentage. So there was actually a lift. It was actually also a boost for us as well. So so from there on we went on, and funny enough, how they strengthened the squad. They strengthened the squad with good players, good professionals, good players. They brought in Patrick Mayo, the centre back. They brought in Chapi Motale. They brought in Clement Mazibuko from Sundowns. Skarango Bese came. Bennett Mguni in his last years. I can remember, he gave me a hot one. He gave me a hot one. Your papa he gave me a hot one. That's a story for another day. That I won't forget. Says Chihoa joined us from Chiefs. Ishmael Moleka joined us from Chiefs, and the legendary Peter Ndlovu also came there, and so we had good reinforcement as well, because we were trying to find our way, and we survived relegation again. And the second year, now that we survived relegation, now that we found our way, the club decided now that they're gonna readjust everything again. So a lot of players had to go, and other players had to come in. And just because of my performances that I gave the previous year, they found a liking in me. They were so fond of me, and they said to me, we would want you because of your qualities and your leadership you've been showing. You've been banging goals left and right.
Yeah, you're in your element.
Yeah. This is the one. This is the one.
This is the one. Yeah.
Left and right, you were banging goals.
Yeah.
So we think because we're looking at the bigger picture as well, because we want to bring in all our youngsters and you're a great example. So we want to make you the captain of the team. It's like, how am I going to captain these big guys now? Yeah. You know, how are they going to listen to me? You know, I'm being a captain of Clement Mazibuko or Peter Ndlovu. How are they going to look at me?
Yeah.
And because of my strong mindset, I took it on. I took it on. I accepted it, and I took it on, and I captained the team. And that year, in the beginning of the season, I scored 10 goals before midway. You know, as the captain. And that's where I caught the attention of the owners, and the owners, they said, no, you're definitely international standards. We'll send you on a trial, and we'll see, just to be assessed. And then they sent me to Sweden. I went to Malmo FF, you know, ex-club of Ibrahimovic, the legendary Zlatan Ibrahimovic. When we get there to Malmo, his pictures are just all over the show. Just all over the show. Yes, and I had a good week. 10 days. I had a good 10 days. I played one reserve side game. You know, that time it wasn't a league like now we have the Diski League. That time it was just reserve sides playing each other. For those who didn't get much of minutes at the first team, then they will mix with the second team and will play. So I managed to play, and I scored. I scored in the match, and they were happy, and they wanted me. And then unfortunately, the asking price they couldn't afford. Yes, because Malmo FF was also going through their challenges at that time, so they couldn't afford. And then that same year, I got a call from my agent. Got a call from Red Star Belgrade in Serbia, saying, let him come. No trial, nothing. We saw him. We see what he's doing in his team and for Bafana as well. And you know, the COSAFA Cup was the one where the young players were excelling. So in the COSAFA Cup, it was just going left and right, shooting things left and right. The thing is, that's where they saw me mostly. And I signed for Red Star Belgrade. And funny enough, that year when I signed, that season when I signed, the following year was the CAF Confederations Cup. The year before the World Cup. Which was 2009. And then I fired also in the CAF Confederations Cup. Then I got a personal call from Rob Moore, and Rob Moore said to me, he's got Steve McLaren on the phone. I said, no, he's joking. He must be joking. It's unreal. And Mr. McLaren, yes, no, Mr. McLaren, yeah, I want you to come. I said, yeah, sure, now I want you to come. I said, okay, no, I'm just speaking to the coach directly, so I want you to be in my team, see you in my team. I said, okay, yes, I want to come. I said, okay, no, fine. And then I went to my agent. I spoke to my agent, Mike McCarp, and I said to him, you have to speak to Rob Moore. This is what has happened. This is the situation. And then I ended up at FC Twente.
And ending up then at FC Twente, you're now then within the Eredivisie, and you also had the opportunity to play Champions League, and you also won the Eredivisie as well. What was that like, and how far had you come in terms of realizing your dreams? Because a couple of years ago, you know, you were sitting at home, you know, because of what happened at Sundowns. Fast forward a few years later, you know, you've captained Thanda Zulu. You've had great performances within PSL. You've played for Bafana Bafana, but now you've finally reached the elite level of playing UEFA Champions League and being able to experience success in Netherlands as well. What was that period like in your life?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. It's such an experience no one can describe. No one can describe. You can only share memories, but the feeling, no footballer in the world who has reached that level can explain the feeling, but can only explain the moments that happen within the feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to FC Twente. They were building a team that wants to win trophies, and we were like a complete new squad, because the following year they sold 3 players. They sold Marko and Artovic to Inter Milan, to Mourinho at Inter Milan. They sold 2 other players, one to Bayern Munich and one to Werder Bremen. And I think one more was, if I'm mistaken, it was 4 players that the club sold. So they got a cash injection from selling those players. And the club felt that they now can, with the cash injection that they got, then they can compete with the likes of Ajax, Feyenoord, PSV, AZ, Alkmaar at that time, you know, for honors. And the maestro, Steve McLaren, who's now at Manchester, who's now the assistant coach at Manchester United for Erik ten Hag, he actually brought in three Chelsea players in on loan from Chelsea to come, youngsters to come and assist us. We had a good mixture of mature and young, and middle age was a good mixture.
Yeah. And
we went and competed. We were so strong. At that time, Ajax had Luis Suarez, they had De Jong, who's now at Man United. They had Stecklenburg in goal. They had Vermaelen centre back. They had a strong squad, Ajax, at that time. And we competed with the likes of Ajax. We won the league. We won at the Ajax Arena for the first time in Twente's history.
Yeah.
It was a box that was ticked. We won at PSV in Eindhoven. It was a box that we ticked.
Yeah.
And we, after winning the league, we played the Super Cup the following year, because Ajax won the League Cup, the FA Cup. Then we beat Ajax again at the own arena, the Amsterdam Arena, winning the Super Cup. Yeah. So great memories that we done for the club, and we won. We lifted the league title for the first time in the club's history. In the 50, that time was 50 years of existence. Probably this year there will be 60 something. For the 50 years of existence at that time, it was the first time that we won the cup, the league. Yeah. And we were regarded as the golden generation. Yeah. You know, automatically when you win the league, you automatically qualify for Champions League the following year. Yeah. Wow, Champions League was something else. Wow. I would just say wow. Because in our group we had Tottenham Hotspur, with your Bale, Modric, you know, the likes of. Then we had Inter Milan. Inter Milan was crazy. Inter Milan actually went on that year to win the Champions League with Mourinho. So they had like your Eto'o, your Diego Milito, Maicon, Snyder, Zanetti. they were just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Dan Stankovic, they were just unbelievable. And then we had Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen still had their legend Torsten Frings in the midfield. So it was the four of us in a group. And we actually came third in the group. And we, okay, before I would say that, we went to the San Siro. Eyes went like, beautiful experience.
Yeah.
We went to White Hart Lane, beautiful experience, the old White Hart Lane, not the new stadium now. And what a wonderful experience. And by playing with these stars and seeing these stars, it's unbelievable. We came third in the group, and we went on to play in Europa League. Europa League was also really good because we also played with good teams, good strong teams as well. And yeah, those were the days at FC Twente. And winning the league, this is a souvenir.
Yeah.
The souvenir from winning the league. See, it's engraved there. I'm winning the league with FC Twente.
FC Twente, 2009, 2010.
Yes. So this is something I will value for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Pass it on to my grandchildren one day. Yeah, so those were beautiful memories.
Yeah.
And stories that I will tell my grandchildren one day.
And then the following period, then, how difficult was that now that the coach who had brought you in is now in a situation where he's now leaving the club and things are now changing, where you guys experienced so much success, but now the club is sort of taking a new direction, a new shape. How difficult was that period, and what was going on through your mind at that time?
Yeah, the coach left. He got a better gig in Germany as well, and he took it on. He left, and a new coach came in, and the club also now, because of so much that they've spent, you know, in terms of beefing up the squad, in terms of competing for success, which we got success, and then from there on, the club now had to recover. So they were in a recovery mode at that time. Now when the new coach came in, and a lot of players got to be offloaded, and unfortunately I was one of them, because I'm a foreigner. I'm a foreigner, and I'm also on a certain package. So I was one of the players, and I accepted, and then I took the loan. I took the loan to Greece. To Greece, a team called PANSERRAIKOS.
Yeah.
They are about half an hour from the main city, the second main city, Thessaloniki.
Yeah.
You know, after Athens. And I had a 6-month stint there. A season stint there.
Yeah.
And then I went back to Twente in my final year of my contract. And when I got back in my final year of my contract, they said to me, the situation is still as it is. You know? So speak to your agent, and let's see what can come up for you. Yeah. And then Chiefs came knocking, because my agent actually got in contact with Chiefs, because before I went to Red Star Belgrade, I actually visited the village with Bobby. Bobby gave me a tour at the village, and Mushin Utegra was the coach. Yeah. I met Coach Mushin there, and they gave me a tour at the village. And I said, "No, come home. Is our home, whatever." But then I took on the international gig.
Ngisazonibona bafethu mina ngisaya-organic.
Yes. You know, so then the chairman asked me to come home, and I said, yes, definitely, I'll come home. And I came home, yeah.
And what was that like? Because now you're walking into a dressing room with familiar faces. You know, you being back home after spending some time in Europe. What was it first like getting back to South Africa? And what was the first couple of months like at Kaizer Chiefs?
Yeah, childhood dream. My father was a Kaizer Chiefs supporter. May his soul rest in peace. Knowing that this is my childhood dream, I'm coming back now to live my dream. And funny enough, when I joined Chiefs at the same time, my idol, my role model, Benoni, joined Pirates.
Yeah.
Same year, same season. And it was so hyped up, you know, which was crazy. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I felt things were happening so fast. I felt like I just couldn't control stuff, you know. Things were just happening so fast. Interviews here, there. I was just all over the show. But one thing I did, I managed to keep my cool and my cool and my professionalism. And coming back, 2011, Coach Vivi was the coach, and I scored in the derby, and I scored in the derby, and then as things went on, the team weren't doing so well, and that came to the sacking of Coach Vivi. And then when Stuart Baxter came in, you know, Stuart Baxter came and he gave us a different lift, even me personally, because the game was now for me so fast, whereas in Europe we know it's a lot of tactical and technical, you know, it's so disciplined, in terms of positional. And now coming to the PSL, where it's just a lot of energy.
And the worst part is that people speak about this high intensity in the PSL, but what does it mean if it can't be controlled?
Exactly.
What does it mean if it can't end up in us scoring a lot of goals?
Exactly.
In us playing a better style, and us having a much more clear game model? What does it mean if it's just... Yeah.
Exactly, when the ball keeps changing hands.
Yeah.
You know, yes. One way you're trying to attack, then you have to run back to defend, you see. So that I adjusted actually quicker.
Yeah.
And quicker to that. And when Stuart Baxter came in, I just hit the ground running and just went on.
Yeah.
You know, being myself again.
Yeah.
The top scorer, win the league, top scorer again, win the cup. Top scorer again, amongst the top scorers again, you know. So he brought in a different dimension, different mindset.
Yeah.
In terms of how we can control, moments, situations, game temperament, game tempo. Yeah. And also of how we can get goals as well. So it actually played into my hands, into my strength, because I'm a goal poacher. And beautiful. We went on to make records again. Most points of Kaizer Chiefs has ever achieved. I think it was 70 something, 71, just over 70. Yeah. Most goals scored also as well. There was a lot of records that we broke. I scored the Nedbank Cup final goal. Yeah. In the Nedbank Cup. Assisted Tefuma Shemaite to win the Nedbank Cup. Yes, and also contributed a lot with my goals to win the league titles, you know. So it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. And then I don't know what happened for Coach Stewart to leave the club just after winning the league. Success, yeah. Just after success and just winning the league, he had to leave. I don't know what happened. And then things just changed from there on. So after that change, you know, it really crippled the club in a way where the club couldn't find the balance anymore. Where, you know, me being there on a daily basis, trying season in, season out, trying to get that balance again, get that solidarity, get that form, get that everything back together. The glory days back together. It's been a real struggle. It's been a real struggle, and we still didn't manage to find it again. And the club is still today, you know, pushing in terms of getting that back together, and I hope they will get it soon.
So before we go into that struggle, because what I sort of appreciate about your time at Kaizer Chiefs is that you saw both sides of the coin. You know, there was a period very successful and a period of struggle, like you just mentioned. When we look at the successful period and we look at Stuart Baxter's team, what made you guys so special?
I think also personnel. Also, it's football is 11 men on the field of play, including the subs, the 18, including the guys who's at home didn't make the match day squad. You know, and on the day, unfortunately, you can only play 11 men on the field, and this 11 men needs to complement each other with combinations, with the philosophy, with the style of play, with all the ingredients that we need for us to complement each other, for us to win. We had a strong squad, where we could complement each other. You know, if I can give you a rough lineup, you know, we had Kunen goal, Mashamaite centre back, Mato centre back, sometimes Morgan goal centre back, Masilela left back, Pagatla right back, Katsande holding midfielder, Renil Letuliane midfielder, me being an attacking midfielder, George Luisi on the wing, Shabo on the other wing, Mandla Masango will come in sometimes on the wing, Knowledge Musona is a striker, and Tlokhona Majoro is a striker. All of the guys I mentioned,
those names,
they are Bafana players. They are Bafana players. They're international Bafana players. I can think that one day when the squad was announced, we had the most Bafana players in the squad. We had like 9 players from Chiefs in the Bafana squad. 9 players. I think that was the most from any other club. And because of that personnel, you know, we had an hierarchy where we know that I compete with you, I keep you on my toes, you keep me on my toes. And we had a healthy relationship with no any sort of agendas or whatever in between. You know, we had built such a culture, whereas I know if I'm sitting now on the bench for a player. At that time, if George Maroleka played 10 and I would be on the bench, and I would know that I'm ready. If anything happens, I am ready. If he gets injured or he gets tired, or he completes the match now fully 100%, then I know next week I will get the Nedbank Cup spot to play. You know. We were so positive in that mind frame amongst each other, and our camaraderie and the atmosphere was so good amongst each other, which actually kept each other on our toes. So training would be intense, giving each other good competition, and when we come to the match is just normal formality. You know, normal formality because normal procedure. Because what we do in training automatically plays out in the match. And the way that squad was assembled by the management and the coaching staff actually was brilliant, because that was like solid, and we had a good solid 3 to 4 years from there on. You know, solid. And then when things changed afterwards, you know, football is a process. It's a journey. So you build within the journey. You just don't get things overnight. You just build within the journey. And after it was a big challenge.
It was. And you mentioned, like you said, some of the senior players, you know, because some of you guys stayed on after Stuart Baxter's time. What was that period like as the senior players, and what was the dressing room like, especially considering now that there was instability with new faces coming in, players, new faces coming in, coaches, technical team, like there were so many changes, but there was just no success, there was no trophies, you know. What was that period like for you senior players who've experienced success before?
It was a challenge. It was a challenge, you know. Players that came in, mostly it was players who never had tasted success. You know, they probably didn't know what it takes to get success. And we are here to guide them. We are here to guide them. We are here to influence. We are here to uplift, encourage. You know, giving the know-hows, the do's and the don'ts as well. And we did that to the best of our ability. Yeah. But we were only a few. We were only a few, and maybe even if we were only a few, I think probably maybe we didn't do enough. Maybe at that time to give more in terms of the culture, the expectations, the standards that has to be met and stuff like that, which is not easy. Which is not easy, because also as players as well, we also want to focus on us ourselves. Because I have to focus on playing myself in my position. Yeah. If I now shift my focus and trying to see if who didn't do things right, by me will go wrong, because now my focus will shift from my duty and my responsibility. Yeah. So it's also not easy for a player as well, and it was a storming phase, and it came to a norming phase, and it came to a performance phase, but it just didn't get to the excelling phase. Yeah. So we would get close to the performing phase, and we get some glimpse of the excelling phase, but we just never got to grab the excelling phase. Till today. Yeah. Yeah, it really has been tough, yes. You know. And I want us to look at a couple of finals, right? This is after the success phase, because now you mentioned that you got close, but never got to actually go on and you know, taste it. So we've got Ajax, we've got TS Galaxy, we've got the final day of the league, Baroka, when they equalize, and then you guys don't go on to win it, and then you've got Al Ahly. These 4 days, take me through these 4 days, and how difficult was it to accept not winning anything on 4 days where you had a very good chance to win, especially when you consider Ajax, TS Galaxy, and the final day with Baroka. What was that period like when you guys were just not winning those finals? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's actually 5 days. 5? It's 5 days. Yeah. Just after we won the league, we had the MTN 8. Then it was the Telkom. We had Sundowns in the final. Sundowns. With Sundowns in the final, and when the team was announced in the final against Sundowns, actually surprised us as players, and it was a little bit of a knock psychologically on the day, on match day, before we left the hotel. It was a knock, you know, psychologically, because building up to the week. Building up to the week, there weren't a possible lineup to say who's going to start. And then on match day, on pre-match meeting, on match day, pre-match meeting, the team is announced to start in the final. It was a surprise for most of us, and it knocked us a little bit mentally, psychologically, and we lost against Sundowns that final in Durban. Then we also had another final against Ajax. Ajax were facing relegation that year. They were struggling that year. And they got to the final somehow. They got to the final.
Yeah.
And when we got to that day, it was building up to that week. It was a whole lot of talk. Talk in terms of mind games. Mind games talk. Chiefs don't know. Chiefs Chiefs this, Chiefs that. They don't know who they'll be coming up against. Where we're not scared of them. Blah blah. And it actually triggered us in the camp as well. You know, and the coach would show us the articles and say, look at this one, what does he think? You must go out there and you must show him, stuff like that. So it triggered a lot of emotions building up to that game that week. And then I think it also affected us, because when we got to the final, we're not in the right mental levels, and it affected us, and we gave it away. We gave it away, and then the coach departed, and then on day three, which was when we worked so hard in Europe, in Africa, the same Wydad team that gave us 4 on our first group stage, in our group stage match, it gave us 4, actually dented our confidence. That Wydad Casablanca dented our confidence, and it was through COVID as well. And the mental strength that somehow that we gathered as a squad, we put all our focus, all our energy, and all our eggs in one basket, and we did well on the continent.
Yeah.
And locally here at home, at home, we were number 12 at some stage. We were number 12 at some stage.
Yeah.
And you know, getting calls, are we getting relegated? Where, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you get to the petrol garage, yes, Lisa, what?
Yeah.
Because we put so much energy into CAF, the traveling, whatever. When we come back home, we have to reshuffle the squad, make sure we have fresher players play. So in terms of the balance, you know, we couldn't find the balance. Also, breakdown of combinations and things like this. Yeah. You know, it was a challenge, but we managed to pull through in CAF, and we reached the final. On the final, you know, VAR was introduced. Yeah. We never had VAR before. We never had VAR before, and then VAR was introduced. And Coach Pizzo was on the opposite bench. Yeah. And knowing that Coach Pizzo knows, he's one of our own, he knows us as South Africans and players. So it was actually a one for us to double our efforts. And with one of our players getting the red card through VAR.
So early even.
So early. They had a counter. Meanwhile, we were told that if we get caught on the counter, you must foul. You must make a tactical foul when you get caught on the counter. And I think the young men understood it wrong because we were caught on the counter, and he went in, studs up, trying to break the attack, and then VAR came into play. VAR, shucks, and it was so early in the match, and that now it automatically, it's like feeling like we had a sword through our chest or through our heart.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, damn, now with the current champions of the continent, they, as strong as they are, we were supposed to double our efforts to try and defeat them. Because their journey was smooth to get to the final. Our journey was tough. Their journey was so smooth.
Yeah.
So they had the upper hand as well, and they were the current champions.
Yeah.
We tried our best.
Yeah, it was
We
tough.
tried our best. It was tough, and somehow they scored. After they scored, we wanted to attack and try and, because we had nothing to lose. And then somehow we lost our shape and our balance, and they won. Beautiful experience. My first time getting that far in the competition. My first time captaining the squad as well, to get to that stage as well. Wonderful experience. At least I've got something to prove with a silver medal.
Yeah.
And then we were home during COVID again, with the league, where we went into a bubble. The league went into a stop, and then we went into the bubble. We went into the bubble leading by 10 points, if I'm mistaken. 10 points leading the league. Because we had such a strong start in the beginning of the league. And when we were now in the bubble, you know, it was just something different. You know, Chiefs without their fans, without a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And we're now in this bubble. We lose, we win, we draw, we lose, we draw, we lose, we win. And then that time, Sundowns is catching slowly. To be fair, they also lost 1-2 games where we could have actually sprung, but we never did. We never took that advantage. We never did, and it was just for us just to win the last match against Baroka. Baroka were relegated. I think they were facing relegation. I think so. Set piece, and the set piece, after we went up 1-0, they had a set piece, and this was a side free kick. And mind you, set piece is a critical phase of the match, because now it's a stop, it's a restart. Now we had to be switched on.
Yeah.
Baroka went up and banged up on the far post. 2 of our players went with them there, so it actually stretched our line even further, and it created gaps. Whereas we could have just all shifted the whole line together at the back, towards the back, which we didn't. I think our communication was slow. We could have acted faster, reacted faster, which we didn't. And then the header came, Khasha, the goal came on the day, final day. And we lost the league.
Yeah.
We lost the league. We lost the league by 1 point. And it was a really tough one. It was a bad one. It was a really, really tough one. Which one? I don't want to remember.
Yeah.
I don't want to remember.
Yeah.
And then the 5th one was my current team, TS Galaxy. Who was also a sucker punch, because TS Galaxy were playing NFD.
Yeah.
They were playing NFD. They made it to the final. We thought, like, this is gonna be like
quick job.
quick job.
In and out. 90 minutes, fetch the trophy, go back to Josie, celebrate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the power of the mind. The power of the mind is something else.
Yeah.
The power of the mind is something else, and we took it lightly. and upstairs filtered down. It filtered down, and we didn't perform. To be honest, we didn't perform on the day. They had a lot of energy. They kept coming. They were pushing. They missed a few chances. We also missed a few chances. And same lapse of concentration. We gave them a penalty. Yeah. So those were the 5 moments in my career
very tough.
Very tough.
At Chiefs, no?
Yes, at Chiefs. So
yeah. But overall, when we look at your time then at Chiefs, you wind up as the top goal scorer of all time for the football club. What does that mean to you, and the achievements as well, and the goals that you scored, the goals that you created as well, and all those trophies that you won? Your time at Chiefs, what does it mean to you, having experienced, yes, the good and also the bad, but when we now look at the good, what does it mean to be the top goal scorer of Kaizer Chiefs and having had so much success and being so key in that period of success in the past 12 years?
A lot. It means a lot. You know, coming to think about players that donned the jersey before me, how much they have contributed to the club success.
Yeah.
Crazy numbers, crazy performances, crazy. Now me, in my generation, what I have contributed now for the club in my generation, I can also say crazy.
Yeah.
I can also say crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I can also say crazy amongst many stars in my generation. I think I've just taken on the baton from the previous generations. I've just taken on the baton.
Yeah.
And personally for myself, I think I did good. I did a great job.
Yeah.
To continue what other players has done.
Yeah.
Other legends has done of the club. And I pushed through the help of coaches, teammates, management, family, friends, and status, legend status. I think I've achieved legend status.
No,
right?
No, definitely.
Right? Yes.
No, definitely. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Right. Definitely, I've achieved legend status, and I got to be part of league, the league winning teams. Got to be part of cup winning teams. Got to be part of successes in the team as well, and got to be part of such a big team on the continent that's so well respected that I just don't know how to describe this feeling, but I don't even know how to put it. But it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's wonderful, and I don't want to talk more of other stuff that I've achieved with the club.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. You know, playing so many derbies and stuff like that. It's a lot. But overall, there's not many that has done the jersey that call themselves legend that can reach 10 years. You know, I've went over 10 years. You know, and achieved so much more, so much.
Yeah.
And I wish for the next generation that took over now to carry on.
Yeah.
To take the baton and carry on, and bring and continue competing and bringing success to the club. And personally, also in the future, if if I do get the opportunity for me to also give back to the club.
Yeah.
You know, of what I've experienced.
Yeah.
Because if you can tell me now anything about the club, I know anything in and out.
Yeah.
The culture, everything in and out, off by hand.
Yeah.
And if I do get the opportunity in future, I'll definitely give everything that I've learned, accomplished, and done. And also also on the football side, on the pitch side, but also in the personal side. It has grown. It has matured me as a human being.
Yeah.
It's made me understand a lot of things better, especially people. Understand people a whole lot better. And it also enhanced my family's side as well, enhanced my life as well. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot
it is.
That went into that 11 years. So
yeah.
So yeah, here I am, and the journey continues.
So how difficult then is it leaving a big team like that, where you've had success and you've had all these experiences and you've invested so much time, so much emotion, and leaving the club in the manner in which you did? How difficult then was that for you to process and accept?
It was very difficult at first, in the beginning. It was very, very difficult because my emotions automatically just took over. When I got told that I would be no longer continuing, my emotions just took over. And it was very difficult for me to control it. You know, even if I was trying to think or trying to wonder or why and whatever, but my emotions just took over everything. Because on a daily basis, week in, week out, on a daily basis, you know, with the love that I have for the club, I make sure I'm there first, and I make sure I'm there last. And everyone in the club that associated with the club, even the cleaning lady to the groundsman, to the people in the office, I've got personal relationships with them as well, you know. I'd always make sure that they also feel good, they also feel special. Whether it's a birthday or something, you know. I would give me, you know, to everyone there. And I think that's the good thing. It's a good thing to be remembered by as well, because still today I'm still good friends with the staff members, more than the players.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And with the players, especially the young players, you know, they would now and then also call me, Grootman, how's things, you know, blah, 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 stuff like that. So I've basically made Kaizer Chiefs my second family, you know, and as time went by, it took me a few months, time went by, I came to understand, like, hey, this is football.
Yeah, it's football at the end of the day.
This is happening in football, even at the highest level. You know, this happens at football. At some stage, we all come to a certain stage. You know? Yes. So I get to come to an understanding only months after. And yeah, and till today, people would still say, no, for life.
For life.
For life.
For life, for life.
Still say for life. Corsi and calling me Corsi, captain, calling me all sorts of names. But yeah, it just shows that how much I'm being appreciated by the people that support the club. Definitely.
And now you find yourself currently at TS Galaxy, which is currently ongoing. So we're not gonna get into that because one day I believe that you'll come back when you've retired for part 2. You know,
sure,
you know. Yeah. So before we go into my favorite segment is Best 11. But there's a very important chapter in your life that we need to just have a look at a couple of moments, which is Bafana Bafana, where you were so successful with regards to being top 3 highest goal scorers. You know, you've played World Cup, you've played Confed, you've played an AFCON, you won Golden Boot even in the Chan, you know, so you've got so many good moments that you had for Bafana Bafana. What was that like? And now playing with guys from different clubs and guys also coming then from overseas. What was your Bafana Bafana experience like?
Wow, wonderful. I was always looking forward to month end.
Yeah.
Every month end. So it's FIFA week.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to FIFA week.
Yeah.
Knowing then, because we're gonna rub shoulders with the big guns.
Yeah.
The big stars.
Yeah.
And it was always something to look forward to in terms of pride of the nation, pride of the country, and also you know, from club level, it's different when you go to international level. Also the other factor is that the club the country you're also going to play against. That's also another motivational factor as well.
Yeah.
So it's always great to come and represent the country, to get to don the jersey, and yeah, man. And also when we come together, it's always stories.
Yeah.
It's always, you know, it's always stories and jokes, and
Yeah.
we share a lot of stuff, you know, because
Yeah.
now we can relate because we're all South African. It's always fun when we go for national team. Yes, and that fun, just transform it into the field, and as a footballer you only want to have fun.
Yeah.
So my Bafana times, I can say were wonderful. It's just the greater part of my 74 caps that I've played for the country.
Yeah.
It's actually also a milestone, you know, with complemented by 23 goals, you know, being on top there, the top 3, with the big stars that has donned the jersey, you know, it's actually remarkable. Beautiful memories. One moment that stand out for me is when we played Spain. Spain was on a world tour before the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah.
Spain was on a world tour after the 2010 World Cup. My apologies, because they've won the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah.
So then they were on a world tour. After the 2010 World Cup was the German World Cup. So before the German the World Cup in Germany, because they're champions, they don't have to play qualifying rounds. So they were on a world tour, and we were one of the teams that Spain had to come and play against. And on the day, it was a crazy lineup. They had Casillas, Piqué, Ramos, Carvajal, Capdevila, Xavi Alonso, Xavi, Iniesta, Fabregas, David Villa, and Pedro, yes. They had such a strong lineup, and at that time, Coach Gordon Nicholson was the coach. As he came back into the change room, with the team sheet, he's like, guys. Guys, I'm not gonna write it down. Usually the coach writes it down.
Yeah.
You know, so for us to assess the I'm not gonna write it down. Just go out there and play.
Yeah.
So as we got out now, it's like, yo, all these guys there with the full squad.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention Busquets. I didn't even mention
David
Santi
Silva.
Cazorla, David Silva,
Mata.
Hey, I didn't even mention all those guys. You know, they were also on the day.
Yeah.
Full squad. Then, okay, they were playing the tiki-taka. That
Yeah.
time Spain they were famous for the tiki-taka. Playing the tiki-taka. Hey man, we were all here. If this was our team, we were all here. the goalkeeper, stay on the line. We were all here. Hey, halftime 0-0.
Yeah.
We got at least a breather.
Yeah.
We thought now, second half they're gonna come out strong.
Yeah.
So second half, at least we managed to
start getting up the pitch.
Start getting up the pitch.
Yeah.
Know? So as we start getting up the pitch, they kept now finding holes and pockets, whatever. And Kune on the day, he was brilliant on the day. He kept us in the game.
Yeah.
He made so many saves. I'm sure that day he still got maybe some stretch marks under his arm. From that day, crazy.
Yeah.
And then we had this one move on the left here. I started to play here. We had a counter. We had a counter, and then I started to play here.
I give you the ball then.
The ball was played here. I started to play here. And then Tukelo Ranti made a run out towards the corner flag.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, why would he make a run outside? So I passed him the ball outside, and then I ran in.
Yeah.
And then Kamogelo Mokocho ran behind.
Yeah.
So as Ranti caught the ball, he turned. No, I was here.
Yeah.
As Ranti caught the ball, he turned. Because no, Kamogelo made the run before me.
Yeah.
Because I made the pass and Ranti turned. As Ranti played the ball into Mokocho, the clever me.
Third man run.
The clever me,
Yeah.
The clever me made that run. Ramos was late. One touch, smart Mokocho, one touch to me. I was already behind the line. Second half, Victor Valdez came in. Casillas went out. So Victor Valdez tried to close the angle for me. Smart enough for me. I chipped him. I chipped him where he got even a small touch.
Yeah.
But then the ball went over the line. That was brilliant. That's my Bafana goal of all time. Bafana goal of all time. Brilliant. With such a strong team, world champions at that time.
Yeah.
It was great memories.
Yeah. I remember this game. I was sitting here in the stands this side.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's you know, it's been a beautiful conversation that we've had. It's been such an amazing journey, and you've played with so many quality players. You've played in Europe, you've played this side as well, national team as well. So for us to close off this lovely conversation and episode, I need your best 11. Your best 11. So I need your captain, and I need also your best coach. The coach who was the coach who stood out in your career and who will coach this best 11.
You see now. I hope the coaches that I don't mention don't see this. I hope so. Okay. So this will be my coach.
Yeah.
Itumele Nkune.
Yeah.
In goal. Brilliant. Such a good human being. bubbly, active, lively.
Yeah.
Person who never gets angry. Yes, and that's one quality that he's got besides his extraordinary football qualities.
Yeah.
And then centre back. I played with Douglas at FC Twente. Douglas is a centre back, Brazilian centre back, who made things so easy for us, where you can even walk into the midfield and start to play from the back. Strong centre back.
Yeah.
You know. Together with him, can I come back to you?
Yeah.
I can't think now so fast. Of course, Tepo Masilela.
Yeah.
We come a very, very long way from our days at Benoni United all the way up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a player like him, so strong, so confident. You know, player who played against Ronaldo and Messi when he was playing in Spain. Wonderful player, wonderful human being. Right back. I'll have to come back there as well, because now I wouldn't know who to put there.
Now you're thinking, hey, they're gonna fight me.
Yeah, fight with me, exactly.
Then you think Kevin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then here, Renato Letsuliane
Yeah.
as a 6, together with Nassif Morris. Wonderful technique. Most of his career he played centre back.
Yeah.
But as a midfielder he excelled very well. You know, he also played at the highest level, La Liga.
Yeah.
You know, very, very, very highly tactical. And then Shabalala on the left, Tekomodise on the right.
Yeah.
I don't have to say much about these two.
Yeah.
These two gents. And then Steven Pienaar is a number 10.
Yeah.
And then Benny McCarthy is a striker.
Yeah.
And
who captains this team?
I would give Benny McCarthy the captaincy, to captain this team.
Yeah.
Reason why is he's a winner. He's a winner. He's got such a winning mentality.
Yeah.
You know, and we can all feed off him. We can all feed off him. You can see today what is he doing with his qualities.
Yeah.
At the highest level, he's influencing big players. You know, and I will be on the bench here next to the coach. And my coach would be Stuart Baxter.
Your coach would be Stuart Baxter.
Stuart Baxter.
Yeah.
What a gent, father figure.
Yeah.
He's a father, brother, gent, everything in one.
Yeah.
Beautiful, and he understands people's personalities. That's the main quality that I really admire about him. So yeah, coming back to my centre back, I will give it to Aaron Mokoena. You know, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
You can take him to war any day, any time. You know, and my right back, I'll give it to Pagaka. Pagaka. You know, when he comes up here, he'll give you something. Every time he'll give you something coming up. So yeah, that's the 11.
Yeah.
The Bernard Parker, Bafana Bafana, all time 11.
Yeah.
With me on the bench, observing, waiting to get
next to Stuart.
next to Stuart. Yes.
Next to Stuart. So, Deont, you are coming to the end of what is a great career. What do you envision beyond your playing days as we round off this episode?
Yeah, I'm looking to be complete. Complete in terms of giving back to football in a complete manner.
Yeah.
A complete Bernard Parker, where Bernard Parker will be a coach, or whether Bafana Bafana will be in administration. But to be overall complete.
Yeah.
I've obtained my study qualifications in sports management, sports marketing, sports psychology, life coaching, personal training. I've got those, and then I've also recently obtained my KFC license. So KFD to KFC, so now I'll be going for KFB soon. So just to be overall complete, Bafana Bafana while I'm still playing, and then after playing, then I'll decide. You know, because I have to focus on playing. While I'm still playing, I have to focus on still giving my best week in, week out, without shifting focus. So for me, it's now to work on myself. I work on myself a lot on a daily basis, whether it's reading or whether it's community upliftment or whether it's what. I work a lot on myself to be a complete product when I retire, giving back to football.
And I think that's the perfect way then to end it. You heard it here from the man himself, his story, his success, and everything he's experienced over the years. Deont, I truly appreciate that you gave me your time and that you were able to open up and share the stories, you know, share the experiences, and even opening up then with many difficult parts and difficult, you know, things that you faced. But overall, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart and tell you that I truly, truly appreciate having spent time with you today and having the conversation as well. And I wish you all the best, you know, and I definitely do know that you'll have a great contribution, you know, beyond your playing days. And I know you'll still be involved because there's so many young people who look up to you and that you've inspired as well, you know, and especially those kids who come from Ekasi and Recha Park as well, you know, you're that beacon of hope for them to say that if he made it out, you know, we can also make it out.
Yes.
So Deont, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, truly appreciate it. So if you did enjoy that one, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. That was yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Liolo. Signing out. Or maybe we must
signing out.
signing out.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
So much.